Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the December 2019 love reading for the sign of Pisces. Now I do apologize if I'm speaking too low. I'm trying to conserve my voice because I'm doing a lot of readings over this period. It's the holiday period and I'm trying to get the December readings out before December early enough so that if there are any lessons to be learned and any changes to be made now that may impact the outcome of your December, we'd like to see that now, wouldn't we? So in any case, we're pressing on today with you, Pisces, okay? And I do hope you get something out of this reading. So far, as I predicted, all of the readings have been very intense, very specific. And let's just see what December holds for you, my lovely Pisces. Now, I love Pisces myself because both my parents were Pisces, and my Mars is in Pisces. I'm a Sagittarius with 4 planets in Sagittarius, but I have a strong water aspect with Mars in Pisces, and so I resonate with Pisces readings sometimes very much. Straight out the gate, we have 7 of Cups, covered with the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? Page of Cups at the top. Page of Wands at the bottom. Conscious and unconscious. You come into this period with the Knight of Swords, and you come out of this period with the Devil. Okay? Devil is Capricorn energy. Your approach is Wheel of Fortune, and you're met with the Magician. Second time the Magician has been in this position for the December reading. I wonder now if the Magician is going to be a regular player. Wheel of Fortune so far has shown up also a couple of times for the December readings. Hierophant is your hopes and dreams. And your outcome is the 7 of Wands. All right, Pisces. At the bottom of the deck, we have a 6 of Pentacles. So right away I see we have pages in your mind, in your conscious and unconscious positions. We have that strong Devil card and Hierophant right next to each other. You notice that these are both the 5s, right? 5 and 15. It's quite interesting to have them both next to each other in the same reading. I'm going to say right away, Pisces, this is going to be a month of you really deciding who you are. Choosing a side, picking a life, the life that speaks to you. Let's get right into it. I'm going to come back to that 6 of Pentacles. I'm going to get right into your center card and your energy covering it. All right, Pisces, you start off with a 7 of Cups covered with a Knight of Pentacles. And right away, the 7 of Cups tells me 7 is the number for dreams, hopes and dreams, wishes, right? 7 of Cups talks about having an unrealistic idea of what it is you'd like in your relationships or in your life. 7 of Cups is the tarot card for delusion. You can see here that the person is imagining these great things in these cups. I mean, look, he has a castle, a pile of jewels, victory. The robe with the person with the white robe almost speaks to a feeling of being like a cult figure or a head of something, right? We have a beautiful face, which is vanity, right? Wanting to be famous and rich and famous, you know. These are dreams. These are unrealistic, many times, dreams. Unrealistic dreams that we have. Seeing a situation as a fairy tale rather than seeing it for what it is. And really very much daydreaming. Now, let me tell you, Mars in Pisces is my placement in my natal chart, and I daydream a lot. When I was a kid, I would daydream for hours because I could imagine so many things because of that Pisces aspect. Pisces, you know yourself that you are an incredible dreamer and an incredible illusionist. Pisces has the ability to literally lie there and daydream for hours, be in their head for hours. and be perfectly happy, not bored, not anything. This is an ability that a Pisces has, and I feel that very much. So the Seven of Cups speaks very much to your natural state in a lot of ways, which is interesting why we then have the Devil and the Hierophant. I'm going to explain that to you later. But this is kind of a natural state in a lot of ways for you. This is also a go-to for you, Pisces, oftentimes. This is a go-to emotion or a go-to sort of set of behaviors when you are dealing perhaps with a lot of stresses and strains. You're covered with Knight of Pentacles. So I say to myself, certainly that the Seven of Cups, this daydreaming aspect, this feeling of you very much living in your head and really imagining what you want your life to be like, has a lot to do with your goals right now as far as your career and your business. Now, this is indeed a love reading, and I want to say right away, I feel there are some Pisces out there that may not, this is for a Pisces who is not connected in a love connection, but you believe, I think for some of you, you believe that if this monetary or career objective that you are going for pans out and you get all of the money that you wish to get, that you can just, that the love that you want will come in, because now you'll be able to be who you are. You'll have the money that you need. To a certain degree, I think for some of you, you believe or you have this feeling that everything will work out. You'll get your fairy tale as soon as you accomplish this task in business, or as soon as you reach this level with your finances and you have the money to make it happen. Could very well be. However, I'm going to say to you, for a lot of you, this December period is about you really waking up to unrealistic dreams and to unrealistic outlooks, you know. The one thing about Seven of Cups as well is that be careful what you wish for. Not only are these cups unrealistic, but oftentimes these cups are filled with things that we believe will make us happy. And it can be that a lot of times when we achieve those things, we find that they don't make us happy at all. An example would be being famous, or being famous for being beautiful, or just having a pile of money, or living in a big castle. You know, we think, a lot of us may think that these things, these cups that are filled with these things, that this is what we want to make us happy. Now, oftentimes, not only is it unrealistic and delusional, but for those of us, by the way, who do get that in our lives, we find out the biggest horror of horrors, that after all of that work, it doesn't work anyway. It doesn't make you happy anyway. You know, I almost think sometimes that those people who are delusional about it and realize they're delusional and work to more realistic aims and more realistic achievements that will really make them happy. I almost think sometimes that they're better off than the ones who do achieve those things and realize that after all of this, they're still fucking miserable. Right? Nevertheless, this is what I believe is happening with you this December. You come in with a conscious and unconscious, both pages. Very, very new. A feeling of newness, a feeling of wanting a new life. Pisces, you want a new life. You want a new lease on life. You want a new love. You want the love to be young and youthful and happy, and you want it to be romantic. You want a new life with creativity in it. You are desperate right now to achieve that. I think a lot of you are right now on the cusp of working towards something in your business or in your finance that you believe once you achieve this, you'll be able to start a whole new life for yourself. You'll be able to get a whole second lease in life. You'll be able to kick away the bullshit that you've been dealing with up until now. You won't have to deal with the people you've had to deal with. And I think for a lot of you Pisces, this center card, the Seven of Cups, is the daydream that you have for yourself of your new life that keeps you going with this Knight of Pentacles, because you're actually working very hard in your career and in your business to make something happen. And I believe very strongly, this feeling I get, Pisces, is that some of you, you know that you're daydreaming, you know that your head is in the clouds right now, but it is what you need to keep you going, right? Sometimes the dreams that we have, you know, is the motivation that we need to get up every day and go to that horrible fucking job we hate. you know. But we know we go every day, 9 to 5, you know, and we gather our pennies, we collect our pennies, we do our other work. Perhaps we work on ourselves spiritually at the same time, doing our shadow work. But it is our dreams that keep us going. And so I don't want you to feel that what I say, that with this delusional thinking that it is so negative, because I really truly understand the purpose that it serves. It is negative when we don't realize it. If you know that you're daydreaming about better times and you're just kind of losing yourself in sort of the sensuality of it all, and the, you know, because Pisces, when you daydream, it's like seeing a real movie. I don't know about other people, but for you, certainly, it's like it's very real, because you have such a deep sense of spirituality and such a vivid imagination and such a strong ability to be in your mind. And conscious while you're lucid sleeping. You know, you're the kings of lucid dreams and things of that nature. Do you see what I mean? So in this way, for you, this is a playground, Pisces. However, take care, because you have to stay realistic. And I think that right now you want very, very much indeed to have a new love, new lover, new life. You want to feel like you have a crush on someone again. This is very much a reading for a Pisces who is single, but who is strongly desiring to call in a love connection. You come into this month with a King of Swords, and you leave the month with the Devil energy. Now, King of Swords, of course, comes in when we need to be clear, take no prisoners, not suffer any fools lightly, be honest with ourselves and everyone around us. King of Swords demands attention, demands honesty. He is oftentimes the great rule maker and the great disciplinarian at the same time. You know, he's the one who sets the rules. He's the one who sets the order. He's the one who takes charge of the way things are going to be. He communicates that. He's very strong and very determined. This is, of course, associated with air, the element of air. Kings are fire. Kings are always fire. So King of Swords, we have a fiery aspect of air, if you can imagine such a thing. So this is someone who is very, very quick-witted, can oftentimes be very angered easily, can be irritable, right? Can get very fiery with their words, exactly as the King of Swords would be. This is a person who cuts you down with their words if they have to, right? But Pisces, you come into this month like this. You come into this month taking absolutely no prisoners. You have this Knight of Pentacles attitude about you in terms of you are about your business, your coin. You know that this achievement is what, you know this is the linchpin to you getting your new life. And making these dreams, however realistic or unrealistic they are, come true, right? And so right now you come into this month very hard, very strong, setting rules for people around you and for yourself. Some of you may be in a position of authority at work, and that may be coming out, or you may be taking in a position authority in your business or in your career, because your ultimate energy covering everything in December is this Knight of Pentacles. Now remember, the Knight of Pentacles may be the slowest knight in the deck, but he is absolutely the most determined and most methodical. He will reach his goal. You come out of this month with Devil energy. Now let me take a moment to get into the Devil card, because a lot of times people misinterpret the Devil card as being associated with evil, just as people misinterpret the Death card as being associated with actual physical harm or death. This card is actually connected with the zodiac sign of Capricorn. And the Devil talks to us about our sensuality, our sexuality, our kundalini energy, our passion. Where does that come from, our passion? You know, it comes from that second chakra that resides in the pelvic bowl, that is associated with the genitals and passion and sex. But it's also associated with creativity. Now, if you think about it this way, what's the greatest thing in the world that you can create, that you can bring into existence? A child, a baby. We have this gift of being able to make new life. Humans, all animals, living things are given this gift. But we only make it through the desire to join, through the desire to be with each other, through a wanting of satisfaction physically and emotionally, which is associated with sensuality and sex and that chakra. So in order to create anything in the world, it's our driving force is really our sexual energy, our fire, right? And so it's interesting that this would show up for you, Pisces, alongside the Hierophant, because with the Hierophant, well, I'll get back to that. But the Hierophant is a 5, remember that. The Devil is the 15. This is a power struggle. Now, the Devil indicates, when we are extremely creative and we have a positive outlet, when our creativity is attached to our heart chakra or our spiritual center, we create things like babies or works of art, inventions. We come up with incredible ideas, symphonies, skyscrapers, all of the incredible things that man brings into this material world comes when this sexual energy, this kundalini fire that is in all of us, is connected to a higher purpose or connected to our heart. So, and it's a great thing. But when this energy is not connected to anything, when it is blocked or stifled, when there is no healthy outlet for it, this is where we see all of the behavior that we associate with being evil or negative. This is when we see codependency. This is when we become a slave to our instant gratification that we get out of addictions. Being addicted to something, that quick satisfaction. Normally, when our creative impulses are attuned to a higher purpose, that satisfaction comes out of the creation of something positive and beautiful. Communicating our creative desires, but when there's no outlet, our creative desires are communicated through negative behavior. And so you come out of this month, I'm going to say for you, Pisces, with a real feeling of heightened creativity, right? And a real desire for an outlet for that creativity, okay? You have been working very hard on a particular path with regard to your career and abundance, and you come in very sort of in this period, you come in very sort of single-minded, because again, this is a love reading, but your love reading, your image, your imagination, or your vision of the love type of relationship or love that you have coming into your life is absolutely based on and dependent on your ability to achieve this material goal. So you should take care coming into this month with this King of Swords. You must take care, because the end of the month you round off with the Devil energy, and the Devil energy can be very, very tricky. Take care that if you haven't accomplished what you wanted to accomplish yet, that you don't descend into negative behaviors. And that's why I took a moment with that Devil card, so you could understand what I mean. This is not to say that you're evil, but what I mean to say, Pisces, if you don't have a creative outlet for your impulses and for this objective here, really, which is an objective in career and business, but it is also a desire to create something. I want to say for a lot of you, this may be indeed a business that you're trying to get up off the ground. Be careful at the end of December that you don't become too rigid and that you don't sort of begin to look for satisfaction elsewhere if this achievement has not been won yet, if you haven't achieved it yet. Because I know for this Pisces that's resonating with this, truly in the heart of hearts, you're all of this is a vehicle for you to get to a love connection, which you are very much missing right now. You want that love connection very much. Now, Pisces, you come into this month interesting, very, very strong with this, your attitude, right? Your attitude is Wheel of Fortune. You have, and I want to say, and you get matched with Magician energy, and I'm going to say your attitude is very upbeat. I know that I've been sounding quite serious because this Seven of Cups card is quite serious, and this Devil card really needs to be understood so you don't misinterpret what I'm trying to tell you. But for the most part, your attitude is very upbeat. You come in with a Wheel of Fortune attitude in the sense that everything is coming in your way. You have a high level of intuition naturally, Pisces, and you feel that this is a fortuitous time for you. And I think that your attitude towards is that you are willing and you are ready right now to really take hold of the opportunities that are coming your way, because you can feel the electricity in the air. Of all the signs, I would say that probably Cancer and Pisces can feel the electricity in the air the most right now. I believe Scorpios are probably going through a very deep internal battle right now with these energies in this last period of the year. But certainly Cancer and Pisces, you guys can feel the electricity. You can feel the sort of the buzzing that's happening. And I think you know in a very intuitive way that this is a great time. And of course, you're matched with the Magician. Now, the Magician came out earlier. I believe it was perhaps for Taurus. But the Magician, this is the energy that meets you. And it's a feeling of sort of reaffirmation, because not only do you feel all of this really good energy, you feel the winds. I want to say you feel the winds of the wheel turning, if you know what I mean, okay? Maybe that's the best way to explain it. You can feel, the wheel is turning right now for everyone, but not everyone can feel the wind of it. You know what I mean? And you guys can, but you're met with Magician energy in the sense that everything is reaffirming that you are exactly where you need to be and doing what you need to be doing, because everything is coming to you effortlessly. It's just coming to you effortlessly. It's almost as if, it's like you're surfing, I want to say it's like you're surfing on the energy right now. You know what I mean? It's like you're making it your plaything, because you're resonating, some of you, and certainly the ones who are in this reading, you're resonating so much higher right now with a lot of the work that you've been doing. And certainly with this Knight of Pentacles, I want to say this Knight of Pentacles has been a path you've been on to bring something into manifestation that, yes, it does have to do with your material plane, in the sense that it will bring in money and financial stability, right? Perhaps in your career or in business. But it is something that is extremely important to you. It is something that also ultimately speaks a bit to your heart and to your soul, to your creative center, because of this Devil card coming out. And I feel just for some of these other energies, especially with the Magician meeting you, that this thing you're trying to achieve is very, very great. It's very creative. And if it works, yes, it will bring in money, but it's a highly creative endeavor, and so it is very charged with a lot of your energy and passion. Having said that, the work you've done towards it then has continually been also employing your spiritual side and your emotional side. I think that is one of the reasons why right now you are feeling the energy so strongly. Your hopes and dreams and your fears are the Hierophant. And the Hierophant comes out right side by side with the Devil. And now I said earlier I would get into the Hierophant and explain the connection with that and the Devil. The Hierophant is all about commitment. And in a lot of ways, the Devil is also about commitment. It's what we're committed to, really. But with the Hierophant, we have, with the Devil, we have an internal struggle of being, our commitment to our higher self and allowing ourselves, or ensuring that we only create, that our creative impulses and that our desires and all of that, right, are geared towards a higher purpose? Or do we allow our lower sort of desires and needs to take over? It's an internal power struggle. 5 is the number 4 power struggles. And 15 is the second 5 in the major arcana. But the first 5 is the Hierophant. And with the first 5, we don't see a power struggle. There is none. Because here we have total commitment to one purpose, which is our spiritual center, our God. Whatever your God is to you, right? Whatever it is to you, it's different for everyone, and oftentimes people call this the Pope. I know he looks like perhaps the Pope, but that's because we're dealing with tarot cards, and they're a traditional tarot deck that were created in Europe. But the essence of it is that it's a symbol. The Hierophant, it's not called the Pope, it's called the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the highest symbol on earth for our spiritual beliefs. Right? So, if you are a Muslim, this would be Muhammad. If you are, Catholic, I guess it's the Pope, If you are Buddhist, it may be the Dalai Lama, whatever that is, but it is symbolic of your faith and of your complete sort of acquiescence and humility and sort of to that faith, complete commitment. You see here that the figures here are not sort of chained. They are humbly sort of prostrating themselves in front of their Hierophant and giving completely over their commitment to the spiritual center. Here we see the two figures are chained and they are enslaved in a way. You know, it's a feeling of conflict, power struggle, and going against your true nature if you need to be, if there are chains involved. This is the connection between the Hierophant and the devil in a lot of ways. Ultimately, it boils down to power struggles that we have within ourselves and what we believe to be most important and our commitment to those things. And your biggest hopes and fears is that you really want, your biggest hope really is to have a doubling down of your spiritual center, a commitment. You seek a commitment. And when we get back to the idea that this is a love reading, we're talking about how this is impacting your love life. One of the biggest, your biggest wish is to find a new love that is committed. You want to be committed to someone. Having said that, this is the position of your fears as well. And I think for some of you, you fear that also. You fear that commitment because I think for some of you, you fear perhaps the damage that comes with it if you are committed to the wrong person. You know, this is also for a Pisces that struggles a lot with their own demons, right? You want to be committed to your higher purpose and your higher calling, but I think for some of you, Pisces, you struggle with your own demons, and it may be a constant sort of internal struggle for you as well, and you bounce between the two. But ultimately, when we talk about this impacting your love life, and again, we get back to the idea that this is also for a Pisces who's right now really dreaming about their perfect relationship. Part of that perfect relationship and desire is that you want something that's strong and committed. Certainly, this is also going to be for a Pisces who has left all of the baggage of previous relations behind. This is not a Pisces who is pining away for a previous lover. With these two pages, you are well and truly looking forward to the future, wanting something new. You want something new. You don't want the old. You don't want anything old, period. You are over it, done with it, past it. This is not for a Pisces who is still pining away or thinking about a past relationship, wanting it to be renewed. This is not renewal, this is new, right? And so in a lot of ways, this December is going to be very much you working away at your objective and also doing a little bit of shadow work with yourself in terms of making sure that you have the right commitment and the right stability in your life to bring in the love that you truly want. You're going to need to do a little bit more soul searching because at the end of the day, although this is daydreaming, this is also still daydreaming about things that are very unrealistic. Right? And so before you can call in your lover, and again, some of you may not have been able to call in your soulmate because what you've been daydreaming and wishing for has been a bit unrealistic. This December period is also going to be a sort of awakening for you in terms of realizing that you need to get your feet back on the ground about what you expect out of a relationship, right? This is not to say that you should compromise or sell yourself short, but what I am saying is that, you know, Pisces, this particular Pisces who's resonating with this, you've been single for quite some time and looking to the future for quite some time. And I think for a little bit of that, you've gotten caught up in imagining what your next relationship should be like. And to a certain degree, that has been a little bit unrealistic. And you certainly need to be brought back down to the ground in that area to a certain degree. Right? Again, this is all going to come out with this devil energy because at the end of the month, you're going to be tested here to see if you're going to fall back into old behavior patterns or if you're going to persevere and double down with your commitment to who you are and what you need to do for yourself. We're going to pull some clarifiers. You end the month with a 7 of Wands. And that's a position of really fighting for your position. I want to get back to this once I pull my clarifiers. Okay, because this is, the Seven of Wands is quite interesting to me that you will end out like that. This is your second seven. Remember, this is Seven of Cups, Seven of Wands. So seven is the number for dreams and aspirations. And again, like I said, Seven of Cups is kind of holding on to a delusional sort of dream, or a dream that is really not realistic. I don't, delusional sounds harsh. I don't mean that you're crazy or delusional, Pisces. It's just that it's unrealistic. It's like you've been daydreaming a little too long, and the fantasies have gotten a little out of hand, as it can happen. And trust me, I say this because I do have a Mars in Pisces, and I've done it myself, But we want to know, show me what this Seven of Wands is all about for real. Because I feel like it will be, I almost feel like this is you struggling to hold on to what you want, or either struggling to fight for what you find out that you need. Three of Cups, Prince of Swords, Eight of Swords, toxic, Four of Wands, okay. Five of Cups, worry, disappointment. So there has been some disappointment in the past. And although you don't want the past relationship, Pisces, there was a disappointment in the past. And I think that disappointment that you had in the past is the one that's really shaping this idea you have now of being so rigid. Right? You're being very rigid about the type of relationship you want. And it's an unrealistic desire. And I think it's a backlash from the fact that you were hurt before. King of Swords can be quite unrealistic. Well, it's not that he can be unrealistic, but he can be unforgiving. And like I said earlier, you come in, you take no prisoners. I think that this is really the root of some of the problems, Pisces. Some of you are having a difficulty calling in your soulmate because you are really rebounding from a past relationship that hurt you. Now, you're rebounding in such a way that it's not that you want them back or you want to go back to them, right? But now the goals that you've set for your future relationship have been unrealistic. It's swung too far to the other side. And this is why you are continually caught up with dreams of a fairy tale or dreams of a type of relationship that is really unattainable, unrealistic, unachievable. And in a lot of ways, it's stopping you from truly getting a positive, healthy relationship, because now it's like you've swung to the other extreme and you've made it so difficult for anyone to sort of live up to this ideal that nothing is working, nothing ever is working. And yeah, you're desperately trying to have a new relationship and a new start, but this is why, because nothing is ever working now. Nobody's living up to your standards or up to this dream. And so you're continually finding yourself at the starting position again. Eight of Swords comes in, and Eight of Swords is extremely toxic energy. Eight of Swords is, really gaslighter energy. And I want to say again, Pisces, a lot of this could very well be, it could have been that the last person you dealt with may have been a gaslighter. They may have been a narcissist, right? But your rebound from that, right? Your rebound is too severe. It's too King of Swords. It's too regimented. It's too many rules and too much sort of immediate punishment when it doesn't live up to it. It's almost as if some of the toxicity that the relationship may have brought to you previously, you've almost adopted some of that toxicity in the way that you're now dealing with your new relationships coming in. It almost feels like, I don't know. It almost feels like a sort of, like a pathology that you've taken on, like maybe it almost feels a little bit like you don't realize the fact that you yourself have become a bit extreme and maybe taken on a little bit of that sort of victim sort of energy to the extreme as a result of the toxic person that you may have dealt with before, right? So you come in hard with this King of Swords and nothing quite works out, You come in at the top, we have Three of Cups. So Three of Cups talks about bonding and loyalty, Page of Cups. So there is, it's interesting, you have a lot of friends around you. There's a lot of friendship. There's a lot of bonding that goes out, that you have out and about when you're out with people, out with your friends and your colleagues or your family, right? This is Three of Cups talks about an abundance and good and healthy, friendly relationships and relationships with other people. A lot of times people say it's three-party energy, but it really isn't. It talks more about an abundance of good relationships, friendships. Having your tribe around you, having your culture, your people, your tribe, your nation that support you. And yet, this Page of Cups is under it. I almost feel like it's like, Pisces, it's like, for some of you, yeah, you're having great friendships, but that's where it stops. Like, you just can't seem to get, to that deeper level. You say you want it with that Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. You say you want the beginning of a new love, but it just stays at friendships all the time. It just stays at friendships, either because of the vibe that you're giving off or because you're truly not willing to allow anybody in because of this extreme reaction here. This is a very, this feels like an extreme reaction to our heartbreak. And again, although you're over that particular heartbreak and don't want it back, you're ready to move on, but the reaction and the effect of it all is really impacting this section of your life. In the back of your mind, you have a Prince of Swords over that Page of Wands. Now, Page of Cups, of course, in the focus of your mind, you're talking about offering your cup of love to somebody and starting something new, flirting, but with the aim of beginning possibly a love connection. But again, that's where it stops. The same thing here. Page of Wands talks about really forging a new path in life, having a new sort of stage in your life that you're starting that's creative and that you're going, you're ambitious about and that makes you feel confident. Page of Wands is overcoming fear. And that's in the back of your mind. You feel like you've overcome fear because you feel like you've moved on, right? Because you say to yourself, well, I don't want them back. But the truth of the matter is that you're still stunted in your progress because you're unwilling to move past it by letting people in. Page of Swords covers it, and Page of Swords comes in to really cut away some of the obstacles. It's going to be this month, I think, that a lot of you may begin to see some of this sort of essence to the way you're looking at new relationships and begin to cut away some of these obstacles that are holding you back. Prince of Swords is the same as Knight of Swords, and so this talks about really coming in and finding some solutions to this. I think for some of you, December is going to be such an important month because, again, you are having mental breakthroughs, right? You're having mental breakthroughs. You're having emotional and psychic breakthroughs. A lot of people are being given blessings in December of wisdom and abundance. One of your blessings, Pisces, is of wisdom in December. And I think you wake up to this pattern of behavior that you have put in place as a result of this heartbreak. You start to realize that you do still perhaps have some obstacles in your way to getting past this. You feel like, you feel great about yourself because you feel like, oh, I got over it and I'm not afraid to move on and I'm willing to flirt and all that, but it always seems like that's where it stops. It doesn't go past the page point. It doesn't go on to knights and queens and kings. You're just stunted there because you have this unrealistic view and you just won't allow anything different to come in. You round off the month with the devil, and the devil's clarified with Four of Wands. And again, this desire for equality, a new beginning in love. Four of Wands is new beginnings in love. It's completion and a new beginning at the same time. It's Venus and Aries. It's the 11-11 card in the traditional deck. It's the soulmate card. And in a lot of ways, when you find somebody that truly completes you, and you truly understand and respect each other equally, that is a soulmate connection that is a healthy connection because you complete each other and now you guys move forward in the world as a unit. And ultimately, this is truly what you really, really desire. But with this devil card coming out, I want to say that some of you may still be sort of, you may be struggling. Again, devil is addictions and codependency. It could very well be that there's still a codependency or sort of, you're still kind of addicted, to this sort of mode of behavior in a lot of ways. It's just like in this way here, I feel for some of you, this desire really to move on to a healthy relationship, right, is one of those things that is, you know, it may drive you to drink. You know what I'm saying? It may drive you to, you know, try and really walk that fine line with this devil card, in the sense that, you know, rather than dealing with the true issues here, you're going to just go ahead and get quick satisfaction, perhaps, Pisces, you know, drinking or hanging out, or, you know, excessive, you know what I mean? Whatever your addictions are, shopping addiction, whatever, we can be addicted to all kinds of things, right? But I feel like, you know, this is going to be at the end of December, you will have kind of, you know, it'll be a question. Are you going to take the higher road with the Hierophant and double down on sort of your spiritual growth and getting rid of this toxicity that you've taken on here? Or are you going to sort of ignore that and continue on with your mode of behavior, in a sense that you're not facing up to the true problem, and then you're going to end up finding yourself here in the negative side of the devil energy? Because you're just not going to get that ultimate sort of satisfaction. And this is the struggle I'm talking about. Ultimately, the month ends out with a 7 of Wands. You're going to find yourself really fighting for your own piece of ground in a lot of ways. You know, this is a very sort of singular path that you're taking, and it will feel very much like the end of the month, like you are having to fight off a lot of demons. I'm going to say for some of you, it can also be that you have people in your life, excuse me, there will be some people in your life with this 3 of Cups. There's this feeling of people being around you that you love, and they're your friends, right? They're your homies or whatever. But part of this energy is impacting here too. Because if you see this aspect with these 3 cards, the 3 of Cups, Devil, in here, yeah, they're your friends, but at the end of December, you come out feeling really easily led down the wrong path because you're unhappy. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of this influence comes from your friends, and you find yourself at the end of the month having to fight it with the 7 of Wands, in the sense that if you're trying to overcome this sort of behavior pattern when you're unhappy or when you're frustrated, it will feel like a battle that you're on by yourself with David and Goliath, because I believe that for some of you, Pisces, your friends are the type of people who will take you down this road when you're unhappy, and more easily sort of help you succumb to the negative side of the devil, rather than doubling down on your commitment and sort of really trying to get over it and move past it in a healthy way. I'm going to call it. This is your reading. Another long one for Pisces. I knew it was going to be like this for the December readings. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. But for right now, Pisces, you got a heavy month coming up. Don't forget to check out my weekly readings. Don't forget to check out my mid-December readings. But in any case, this is a spiritual blessing, by Pisces. This is very much a spiritual blessing coming in a lot of ways. But don't forget, blessings do not come without growing pains. They do not come without struggle. And they do not come without you having to work for them. But what comes out of this ultimately will be very, very good for you, Pisces. All right. I love you very much. Have a great December. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.